First, sponsored by Natex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Well, here's a look at the Storm Tracker Doppler. You can see we've got a little bit of everything out there. Multiple colors here showing snow to the north. There's your blue, closer to Peoria. And we got this freezing rain that's occurring here in Drizzle, into Champaign County, back into DeWitt and Piatt counties, and that's where things get a little tricky for us out there again. Depending upon where you are, the types of precipitation are very different at this time. Here's the bigger picture. Lots of moisture still to move through, and that's why we're concerned about road conditions out there, especially as temperatures creep just below that freezing mark. It's right at freezing in Danville, Champaign, Decatur, Lincoln, but just north of that, we're below freezing. This is how the rest of tonight looks. Lots of precipitation still to get through. The latest on the amounts in the winter weather advisory that's in effect when we come back. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now on WCIA 3 News.
What happens to pets when the owner dies? How about when there's more than 60 of them? Plus, U of I researchers have a new antibody test, why this one is so much better than the others.
And the caller ID said the White House, it was for real, why the president was dialing a phone in central Illinois.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 6.
It is one of those nights when you probably want to stay home. A major winter storm is moving across the state. This is what it looks like, excuse me, in Champaign as we speak, or as I can't speak. Good evening, I'm Jennifer Roscoe.
I'm Paul Cicchini. From heavy snow to freezing rain and everything in between. Jennifer will be back, I promise. It looks like we're in round 2, and these roads, as we've been talking about all day, could be hazardous. Chief Meteorologist Kevin Leidy is live in the tracking center. Kevin, you have been tracking this for days and all day. What can you tell us right now?
Yeah, we've definitely been keeping a close eye on this here, ever since last week, and now it's here. And it's this round that really is going to do the biggest impact out there. So as I mentioned before, that is the Storm Tracker Doppler. Notice there's a green color. That's going to be your rain that is showing up for areas, especially kind of closer to I-70, but we get up here into this purple and the blues and the pinks, and that's when some of that precipitation is in the frozen form and causing some issues. So what we want to do is zoom down in here. We've been monitoring things, and wow, look at that. That's the windshield there with our storm tracker. Meteorologist Jacob Dickey is in the storm tracker. It looks like you're getting a little ice accumulation. Where are you at, and what are you seeing right now?
Hey, Kevin, we are in Gibson City right now, and I tell you what, the drive from Clinton to Farmer City, I got a little glaze of ice on the side of the car, the roof of the car. From Farmer City to Bellflower, a noticeable difference in conditions as the road started to get a little slick. You can see the accumulation of ice already on the trees out there. On my windshield, I've got a spot of ice that I can't get off, so I'm going to have to scrape it off here as far as it goes. So we'll continue to have more updates from the field here as this ice starts to accumulate pretty quickly. In Gibson City now, I'm meteorologist Jacob Dickey. We'll send it back to you.
All right, thanks a lot. So as we look at the Gibson City area there on the Storm Tracker Doppler, you can see we've had some precipitation move through. There are breaks here and there, but this is only going to ramp up over the next few hours. This graphic kind of shows the impacts here, and we obviously green is okay. Red and purple, not good. So higher impacts, notice for areas kind of north of Champaign and from Lincoln to Bloomington, Watsika, Gibson City, Onarga, those areas there, maybe up around Hoopston. Highest impacts to the north. Less of an impact because we think it's going to be warmer. It's going to be more rain down near Effingham. We'll show you the latest on how much ice we are forecasting and the snow when we come back here in just a little bit. Jennifer? All
right, Kevin, thank you. An inmate at the Decatur Correctional Facility has died of COVID. The woman was in her 70s. She died on Thursday. This is the first death reported at that facility. The Department of Corrections says 82 prisoners have tested positive in Decatur, plus 48 staff. The Danville prison is tracking more than 900 cases. 2 men with COVID died there last week. And now more than 11,000 doses of the vaccine were administered here in Illinois yesterday. The state is now averaging more than 28,000 a day. There are more than 2,900 new cases of COVID. That brings the total to about 1.1 million. 49 more lives were lost. The total is now almost 18,800. The state's 7-day positivity rate is now at 5.8%.
A woman's concerned about animal hoarding in Vermilion County. She says her own mother was the person responsible. WCIA 3's Courtney Bunting joins us now. So, Courtney, what happened?
Well, Paul, her mother died a few months ago, and even though she's been estranged from her for a few years, her mom's house became her responsibility. And when she went to look inside her mom's things, inside her mom's home, she says she found more than she bargained for.
So I knew she had some animals. I was expecting about 20, to be honest, when I walked in there.
But the number Jackie Creason found was much higher. After her mom died in November, she went to clean out her house.
What I walked into was horrid environment, cats and dogs stacked on top of each other, just living in their own waste. There were 74.
Creason is now working with a rescue to find new homes for the animals, but she feels it should never have gotten to this point.
There were consistently Lyme-positive patients and heartworm, roundworm, whipworm. They're refusing to stay up to date on vaccinations. All signs to me that if owner is neglectful.
She says the animals were being cared for by a vet, and she feels they should have noticed the animals' poor living conditions, or at least that there were too many of them.
They knew about 65 of the 74. I don't feel like they care about the animals' welfare like they should. And who knows if they know about others that they aren't reporting as well.
I reached out to the Illinois State Veterinary Medical Association. They say veterinarians are required to report animal cruelty and animal fighting if they're aware of it. But the owner of the clinic caring for Creason's mom's animals says she felt the animals were being cared for. She added that Creason's mom regularly took the animals to the vet for checkups. Creason says she's just happy the animals are going to better places.
I've done 70% of rehoming on my own, and I'm down to the nitty-gritty now. Got 2 cats left and about 18 dogs.
I reached out to Vermilion County Animal Control, and they said this particular situation was not reported to them. I also asked about how many animals a person should have, and they told me there aren't clear ordinances, city or state, regulating how many cats someone should have. But there are limitations with dogs. If dogs are not spayed or neutered, for example, a person can only have 6 of them. Live in the newsroom, Courtney Bunting, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
That is just incredibly sad. It's good that those animals are finding new places to
That's
live.
impressive that she's done about 70% of the rehoming. Bill Brady served in the Illinois Senate for almost 2 decades. Who's been chosen to fill his seat?
Also tonight, it was a once-in-a-lifetime phone call. Who surprised an immigrant family right here in central Illinois?
And you've been running and jumping. And there's a lot
going on here.
Yeah.
A lot going on, that's for sure. So we've got freezing rain, we've got sleet, we've got snow, and it's about to ramp up and get worse across the area. For some of you, we showed you, kind of some of the impacts that are out there. That's the Storm Tracker Doppler with the various precipitation types. We'll explain more about what those are when we come back.